right, we're good to go on YouTube. Good to go on YouTube. We're good to go on YouTube. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, gonna switch uh everything over. Make sure I have everything that I need. All right. So, you guys, if you guys don't know, we are going to go over my predictions for the event. I have a mock bracket, and I also am going to do my pool play predictions. So we're going to do the pool play predictions, and then that is going to lead into the mock bracket. I have everything to where I can just replace the names from the previous mock bracket that I did, which was before Salt Lake. I didn't do one before Charlotte. So we're going to do this together. I will give you guys a little brief or some brief explanations on why I think certain teams would beat other teams and why I'm more confident in, say, the top four teams this event more than ever throughout the season because of the lackluster performances that I've seen from the top 6 to top 12 teams. There are some that have stood out, but I'm going to, I'll give you guys explanations when we get there. So, going to start with pool play. Okay, again, just one singular one. Okay, I asked this earlier, just one singular one, and then we get started. Sorry for no music and everything. It's just gonna be straight, no sounds. Just yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you. Okay, so I don't exactly know how to use this too much, but these are the pools. Okay, so these are the pools. I think my head is blocking Shopify as the first seed right here. So Shopify, Akave, Luminon, who is now ex Nemesis, and then Legion make up Pool A. Pool B is FaZe, Mind Freak, Cloud9, and SWAT LatAm. Pool C, Optic, TSM, Complexity, Mashing Club, and Pool D, Space Station, Envy, Omit, and Unreal Nightmare. Oh, did I say it correctly? It's Pool D, Space Station, Envy, Omit, Unreal Nightmare. I feel like I messed that up. I don't know why. But I think looking at this, I'm trying to think of what I think the pool of death would be. I'd say maybe Pool C or Pool B. I'd say Pool B possibly because Mind Freak have been looking like a force. Cloud9 also nothing to bat your eye at. And then SWAT LatAm, I'm not too confident in them, but I do think that these three make this a extremely tough pool. I think every pool is extremely tough. Pool D might be closer than a lot of people are anticipating. Also because Omit has been looking the best they have in this iteration of the team. I know Nightmare has kind of been taking a step back. I haven't seen a lot of progression from them in the last 2 weeks following Charlotte, but I have seen Omit start to step it up and be more competitive than they ever have. Envy, I have seen a lot of regression from them, especially against the top four teams. So I would say that Space Station might be the number one pick here, but we'll get into that. But yeah, it's hard to say which pool is the hardest in my opinion, just because it's Worlds and every team is going to be extremely tough. So that's the reason why they're at Worlds. So going to get into the pool play predictions. Okay, pool play predictions. So hopefully I'm doing this correctly. And before I get started, this doesn't show it, but Bastos unfortunately will not be competing with Mashing Club. If you guys don't know, along with Gunplexion will not be competing with Legion. So Jagged Cloud, who is their coach, will be competing with Legion, and then Kronos, who is Mashing Club's coach, will be competing in place of Bastos. So the team will be the team will be Kronos, Mighty, or Z Mighties, Septic, and Chick. And Legion will be Zuzi, Uzi, Low Gators, and Jagged Cloud. So just remember that when I'm doing my predictions. So Pool A will be pretty simple. Akave is going to beat Legion. I don't respectfully, Legion will not be winning a series. So every team that plays Legion will get an automatic win. So Luminon versus Legion, W. Akave versus Legion, W. And then Shopify versus Legion, W for Shopify. Now, Akave versus Luminon, I'm going to go Luminon. Luminon has been looking great in their scrims leading up into this event. The Complexity Halo World Champion, the Complexity Halo World Championship warm up, they had a stellar performance. They got, what was it, third? And they also took down two of the top four teams. They beat Space Station and FaZe both in a 3-0 fashion, but they did go to game 5 with Akabe. Granted, this is online, but surprisingly, Akabe was their closest match throughout the winners bracket before they got to the winners final and played Optic. I will be referencing this tournament a lot throughout my predictions because I think this was a great indicator on how teams are doing going into the event, kind of like a progress report. Going back to the predictions. Okay, so I still think that even on land, I think the series would probably be like a 3-1, but it's still going to be in favor of Luminon. They have been in the Shopify HQ landing for the past 2 weeks following Charlotte. W Shopify, big shout out to Shopify for extending their facility and their just their equipment and everything to Luminon when the team did need a place to play going forward into Worlds. Eli's, let me see what you said. He said, interesting note, because Shopify and Optic are in pools A and C now, instead of A and B, it will be impossible for another round one matchup between them in the bracket. That is interesting to note. Is this the first time throughout the entire season that that has been the case? That is very, very interesting. 2 coaches playing at Worlds is crazy. Unfortunately, I feel like every Worlds there has been a coach that's played. The coaches are just waiting for their time or their chance to get called up. Okay, so Kave versus Shopify. I'm going Shopify, probably 3-0. And then lastly, in Pool A, Luminon versus Shopify. Going Shopify, going to be probably a 3-0. The last time these two teams played in a scrim, which was online, it says right here, 14-2 from Shopify, which was on the 15th, about a week ago. I think there's probably another scrim that they had that was even more recent, but it might not be showing up. Oh, that was, yep, this is on page 4, excuse me. But that shows one of the land scrims that they've had. I do think it's pretty cool that we have seen, at least going into this last event, that we've seen like a LAN. We haven't seen that too much throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to KCP and the Kansas City Royals, the baseball team, and the Kansas City Pioneers, the organization. When we had that pre-LAN going into the Kansas City event, season 1, I think that was really dope. Where we just got to kind of play in the, like, I forgot what suite it was, but basically in like the top-notch suite in the stadium. Excuse my ignorance. Excuse me for not knowing, because I don't watch baseball that much. But we were in a beautiful suite where we overlooked the entire field. You could see on the jumbotron where like what was broadcasted on the stream was on the jumbotron, so you could see like just the Halo gameplay overlooking the field. It was pretty dope. It was really dope. Definitely an experience I won't forget. But yeah, here's the scrim I was looking for. Shopify versus Luminon, 15-0. That's the most recent one. So gonna go 3-0 Shopify against Luminon in the predictions. I'm gonna also go ahead and say that at this point, Shopify knows how Luminon plays. That's the downside of being the lesser team of the LAN, is that like when you're playing technically the number 1 team in Shopify, they're going to learn your habits, going to learn your tendencies, and that can work against you going into the actual event. So that will be my predictions for Pool A. Pretty standard. I think most people will probably agree with those predictions, because those are kind of pretty straightforward. So going into Pool B, Cloud9 versus FaZe. I'm gonna go excuse me. I'm gonna go FaZe. Okay, I'm gonna go FaZe. against Cloud9. I'm gonna say probably 3-1. I think that FaZe might lose one game, if anything, but I think that FaZe is just in a different class than Cloud9. I think the top 4 teams going into this event have started to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. The only team that might not be standing out that much opposed to others is Space Station, but we always kind of expect that from them at this point in their online scrims, or looking at them in their online progress reports. You don't expect too much from Space Station online, but when it comes time for LAN, they always show up, and they show up more than these other teams, and I'll get that into that later. So FaZe Clan versus Cloud9, 3-1 in my prediction, or excuse me, in my opinion. And then Cloud9 versus Mindfreak. This one is tricky. I can't cap. This one's tricky. Okay, let's go back into the Halo World Championship warm-up. Cloud9 did not play Mindfreak, did they? No, they did not. They did not. I don't know if they've scrimmed too much. Okay, I don't know if they've scrimmed too much, but I feel like Mindfreak could beat Cloud9, but at the same time, I might go Cloud9 at this point. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like they've scrimmed. Does not look like they've scrimmed at all. This is Mindfreak. Does not look like they've scrimmed Cloud9 at all. But at the same time, Cloud9 lost to Akave last event. This one's hard. I'm gonna go back. Let's circle back. Let's circle back on this one. We're gonna go Cloud9, SWAT LATAM, Cloud9, FaZe Clan, Mindfreak, FaZe Clan, Cloud9, SWAT LATAM will probably be like a 3-0, maybe a 3-1. But I think also this depends on the schedule. Okay, this depends on the schedule too. Let's take a look at this. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because you want to see if these teams get another series under their belt before they play each other, because these series could potentially be for second in the pool, which are extremely, extremely important matches. So look at this. You have Mindfreak and Cloud9 playing first, okay? First series of the tournament on the B stream. Optic TSM will be starting it off on the A stream. Okay, that's going to be a great way to start the tournament, mind you. Also, Optic TSM match. Then we got the Halo Studios update. We'll be talking about that later in another video, about what you guys can expect from the project update, or what you can expect from the Halo announcements this coming weekend. So, Mindfreak Cloud9, no warm up for Cloud9. No warm up for Cloud9. You know what? I think I should be more bullish on Mindfreak. I got to stand on my word, because I have said that I've been very disappointed by Cloud9 in the recent weeks following Charlotte. Even at Charlotte, I was disappointed in Cloud9. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Mindfreak. I hope that, knock on wood 3 times, knock on glass 3 times. I had to knock on my glass 3 times. I do not want to jinx Mindfreak, because a lot of my predictions are sometimes wrong. But, excuse me, today we changed that. Honestly, my predictions for pool play and all this other stuff, these have been pretty accurate. But the only thing that I get wrong is like actual matches, like who's going to win between these 2 teams during the tournament. But I'm feeling confident today. So I'm going to go Mindfreak. Over Cloud9. What do you guys think? FaZe Clan also over Mindfreak. I'm going to go 3-1. Mindfreak will definitely, I think keep it decently close. Not super close, but, they're not going to get shut out. I think depending on how they do in this series right here, that's going to determine how, this series goes. You know what I'm saying? They'll be in high spirits, morale high, etc. Do you think bootcamp scrims can be flawed due to server issues for the last few weeks? What exactly were the server issues? excuse my ignorance. Cloud9. The thing is, Blitz, I can't be too confident in Cloud9 because I gotta go by their last event, and there's no disrespect. I know Kay is gonna be upset at me. Same with Abusi, same with Jesse, same with Sab too. They're all gonna be upset at me, but I need them to prove me wrong. I have to go by how they performed last weekend, and they seem to unfortunately they be losing matches in important moments. They lost to Omit for the Pro League Pro League spot. Now, if Cloud9 was in the Pro League, I think that they would have been a different team, needing that kind of practice, and I think that they would have been a much better team throughout the season. Not gonna lie, or throughout the second half of the season. I think them not being in the Pro League, even though it was one match of like a day in a week or whatever, I still think that would have helped them, like just being there. Ping was all over the place. I did not know that. I did not know that. I think I think that at least from what I saw in the most recent scrim between Shopify and Luminon, I did see that like it was like the normal land thing. You know what I'm saying? But um, but why are you guys? Wait, is Envy all together? Wait. Are you saying Ryan was Envy all together at the HQ prior to the event for like a few days? I did see that y'all were getting the HQ up. Oh, fucking bit my lip. Oh no, I can't count Mind Freak out. And also the fact that they have not played against each other, I think that's going to factor in heavily. I think that's going to factor in heavily to how this series goes. Um, so going back, they're both in LA though. Wait, are you talking about Envy or Envy in LA or? Oh, you're talking about no, oh, no. But Shopify and Luminon when they boot camped, like they were on like actual land. When I saw them play, at least I saw like the server being like 0 to 1, how it fluctuates. I did see them like on this one ping. I think it was Last Shot that was streaming it, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong though. Could be definitely wrong. So rest of this is pretty standard in my opinion. Phase SWAT 3-0. Mind Freak SWAT. I'm gonna go 3-0, probably at max 3-1. I have not seen a lot from SWAT LATAM to be confident in. Is this with their coach? Wow, this is big. Damn, this is huge, actually. Imagine beating SWAT LATAM with their coach. Yo, that's big, man. Kronos is like a good pickup, too. Like, he's a good pickup. Yeah, they're both, but I think they're actually like in the same like HQ, Ryan. I think like actual same Q. Kronos was a player, wasn't he? Kronos was a player, wasn't he? Or am I misinformed? Like he's a former EU pro? Yeah. Yeah, this is big, bro. I mean, this is big for Mashin. It's a really unfortunate situation. I can't lie to you. Extremely fortunate, especially for this being the last Halo Infinite event. And I want to say I do wish them the best of luck. But this is actually really cool. Like cool. This is really cool. They seem like they might be in NA. They might have been in NA and got this land in or get this practice in a couple of days ago. But this is really big. This is really big. I will say this is not good for SWAT LATAM. I will say this is probably not good for their mentals whatsoever. I will say that this is probably not good for their mentals at all. At all. They're probably thinking to themselves, no mames, way. No mames, way. They lost to the coach. But it probably is not good for their mentals. You want me to keep it real? It's probably not good for their mentals losing to their coach or losing to a team with their coach, especially when it's last minute. But I do wish the best of luck for Mash, and that is actually really cool. Good for them. Good for them. So in that case, yeah, SWAT LATAM, Yeah, I'm gonna go Mind Freak Swat Atlanta M3-0. So that's Pool B. That's Pool B. Pretty straightforward. The only one that kind of got me tripped up was Cloud9 Mind Freak. I still think that could be going either way. I think it's interesting that these two teams have not played each other in any scrims throughout the past month, unless Halo Data Hive is not showing it. But from what it is showing, they have not played each other. I do not think that they played each other last event either. Maybe they are doing this on purpose because they know that they're in the same pool. But I'm still going to give the edge to Mind Freak because of how they have been playing recently. It will be interesting too to note that it will be their both of their first matches of the day, so they will not get a warm up against any other teams in the tournament environment. Maybe they get a warm up scrim that morning of, but they will not be playing any other tournament matches before they match up in their pool play match. So, going on to Pool C, Complexity versus Imagine. Gonna go Complexity here. Complexity I haven't been too bullish on, but again, Imagine is playing with their coach. They will be putting up a fight. I could see them making an upset if Complexity come out cold. Let's see when they play first. So they will be playing first as well. Both first match of the day, Complexity versus Imagine. So I'll still say Complexity. I'm gonna go Complexity. I'm not gonna count Ryan about. So excuse me. Complexity versus Imagine. We're going Complexity. Optic versus Complexity. Optic 3-0. This will be maybe a 3-0, I'll say. 3-0, maybe 3-1 at max. If this goes game 5, that's when we're in upset territory. And that's when I can see like Imagine maybe pulling that off. If it goes to game 5, I can see Imagine maybe pulling it off because Complexity could be like, what the fuck? Why are we in game 5 against Imagine when they're playing with the coach? So, never know. So, Complexity versus TSM, going TSM. Been impressed by TSM going into Worlds, and they have been looking good in the online tournaments, at least a little bit. You know, not fully, but they've been looking decent out of the top 6 to top 10 teams, I'd say. But TSM over Complexity, Optic over Imagine. This will be maybe a 3-1. I can see this being 3-1 or 3-2. I could see this going game 5 too. I could definitely see this going game 5. Cherish last excuse me, option or last chance at beating his former team. So he might be coming with a vengeance. Brian New might be trying to get that diaper money and bring home the bacon for the wife and kid. So you know, this could be crazy. Okay, mental one last hoorah. Okay, in Halo before he goes back to Gears. Ashes. I don't think he's going to be with Complexity anymore after this event. He's coming with a vengeance chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So we could see this could be an interesting series, but I'm going TSM over Complexity. And then to close this out, we have TSM versus Imagine. TSM, Optic versus TSM, Optic. You guys know how it is. I think this will be a 3-0. Optic just played TSM in a scrim recently. I think it was both of their last scrims before they departed to the event. Safe travels to both of them. And it was a great scrim from Optic, 14-2. The only games that TSM won were 2 back-to-back games, Fortress Bomb and also Aquarius Bomb and then Fortress Flag, excuse me. So other than that, this looked like a pretty convincing win by Optic. A few close games here. Live Fire Strongholds. Let's see. Oddball Live Fire too. Couple close rounds. And then, but other than that, it seemed mostly like Optic was in control for the entire scrim, if you guys were able to tune in. But Optic has been looking fantastic in scrims leading up to this event. Since Charlotte, they have not streamed. They have been really, really locked in, and it's been showing in their gameplay. Also took home the Halo World Championship warm-up W going into Worlds 2. So that's always a nice little like a little side quest. Like getting that dub and then playing at Worlds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure they won the Cloud9 tournament, right? Chat, I'm pretty sure they won the Cloud9 tournament as well. So they won the 2 online tournaments prior to Worlds. So Optics looking great, and that will be it for Pool C. That will be it for Pool C. And make sure you guys correct me. I'm not incorrect, right? Optic won the Cloud9 online tourney. You guys got to make sure I'm not messing up with what I'm saying. I don't want to be spreading any misinformation, but I'm pretty sure. But make sure you fact check me. So yeah, that's Pool C. And lastly, Pool D. We're gonna go this. Close that. You're just staring at me. So first, Envy versus Omit. Straightforward. Envy. Omit has been looking better, but I'm still gonna go Envy. I'm gonna circle back. Let's circle back to Envy Space Station because that is the most interesting series of this entire pool. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Okay, let's start from the bottom. Let's work our way up. Space Station, Unreal Nightmare, 3-0 Space Station. Omit Unreal Nightmare. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, let's look at the Halo World Championship warm up. Omit 3-1 Unreal Nightmare. That's why I said Omit has been looking more competitive, and Unreal Nightmare has been looking like they are taking a step back, and they haven't been meshing. It's been looking like a nightmare. I might have to go Omit here. I'm not gonna count Lethal out at Worlds. I'm not gonna count Lethal out at Worlds. I'm probably gonna go Omit. I'm probably gonna go Omit here. Wait, Eli, Cloud9 or the Cloud9 tournament, Optic won, correct? Hold on, GG. I think we gotta go Omit. Let me see this. Yep. Beating Akave, taking games off Luminon, lost to SWAT. But there, I'm gonna go Omit. Yeah, that's it all mixed together in my memories now too, or my memory too. I'm gonna go Omit. We're going Omit over Unreal Nightmare. We're going Omit. No disrespect to Sirion. I love the fact that BTH alumni is competing at Worlds. Big shout out to Sirion and Little Gators. I just, from what I've seen recently, I gotta go Omit. Moving on, Space Station versus Omit, going Space Station 3-0. This series will probably go Game 5, though. This series will go Game 5, and I think it could still go either way. This series could still go Game 5, and this can go either way. Dav, you are saying that this you disagree, but I'm going off the most recent time they played. Omit 3-1 Unreal Nightmare, and Omit has been looking great in scrim, or looking more competitive in scrims than they ever have been. So yeah, I need to see more Omit. I agree. Need to see more energy from Omit during the matches. This should be one of those series that they should know that this is like they gotta come correct. Let's look at the schedule. Omit is playing SSG first. I don't think that's gonna be too great for them. Envy is playing Unreal Nightmare though, so I don't think that could be too great for them either. I think that Envy is going to 3-0 Unreal Nightmare, and I also think that Envy is going to 3-0. Or excuse me, I also think that SSG is going to 3-0 Omit. So I think both of them are going to be getting 3-0 at the same time on B stream and on C stream, and then they'll be playing each other. Where is it? Okay, then they will be playing each other. They're playing each other to end the night. So Envy will be playing Omit first, and then SSG. They're both going to be losing the first two series. So this will be basically, in my opinion, so whoever gets to make it the bracket play. So the last match of the night will be whoever gets to make it the bracket play. So they both will. It'll be a test of who has the better mental. And honestly, I see Omit having a better mental after the day that it's looking like, and the day that it's shaping up to be for Unreal Nightmare. I feel like Omit will bounce back better off of like a back-to-back 3-0. Even if they get like a dub, like if they get like a 1-game win, I think they'll be in a better more high spirits than in Unreal Nightmare just like losing 3-0, 3-0. Yeah, I think both the teams are going to be 0-2. I think both teams are going to be 0-2, and it's going to be whoever has the better mental after those 0-2. So that's why I say looking at the schedule is very interesting, and that's why I think also you should be, anybody that's making predictions, you should be taking these kind of things into account, because mentals, especially at Worlds, do play a factor. People just had long travel days. They're in a different time zone. Some of them, they might be eating some edibles the night before. They might eat some edibles the night before, have like a little hangover, little, little gardening hangover. C9 first, 5K was first optics, second Luminon. Okay, thank you, Eli. That's when that's when Shopify had issues with the check-in, and they were going to play with Stellar. Would have been a very interesting tournament to see, with Stellar playing in place of, I think, Frosty for Shopify. Who would that be? Who's Young Tai? I was talking about, um if you were talking about the series, or what exactly? Taking edibles? Oh, I was just saying that in general. I was saying that in general. I was saying that in general because they're in Seattle. I was bringing that up because they're in Seattle. Hardy, honestly, I swear I wasn't even talking about. I wasn't even thinking about Nick, but it's funny that you brought that up. I wasn't even thinking about Nick. That's a funny ass story. That's a funny ass story. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was dead ass thinking about it because they're in Seattle. I was thinking because they're in Seattle, and whenever I'm in Seattle, first thing I do, go into the gardening store. Okay, always before maybe before you even check in, I might even just leave my bag at the front desk, just say, hey, like watch these for me. Love Seattle, bro. I'm very upset I'm not able to be there because I genuinely love the city. Like I love the city. I love the gloominess. I love the vibe. Just be safe out there because you guys know the zombies and whatnot. You just gotta be safe. But I love Seattle. Just love the walking vibe, the food, everything. Love Seattle. So let's go back. So again, this could be game five. This could be game five. I'm sorry, baby. Hold on. After I do pool play, I'm going to open the door for baby. Uh, so Omit Under Nightmare could be game five, or could go game five. But I do think that Omit will have. I think Omit will have the better mentals after the day that they're both scheduled to have, where they will both probably end up 0-2, both 0-2 in their series scores. So they will have to play each other for pool play, or excuse me, for bracket play and for third spot in the pool. So that's gonna be an interesting day. Gonna be an interesting day. So I'm going Omit over Under Nightmare. So moving on. Envy, Unreal Nightmare, Envy, probably 3-0. Envy, SSG. Now we're circling back. This is where it gets interesting. Now, let's see if they played each other. Envy did beat SSG online in the cold warm-up tournament. Now, here's where I'm conflicted. Last event, I believe we had a similar pool where Envy and the SSG played each other. Envy did not beat SSG. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. At Charlotte, did Envy beat SSG in pools? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. No, they didn't. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. Now, I was very, very confident in Envy beating SSG at this event because of how Envy had been performing online in the online tournaments, scrims, except whatever it may be. I had been so bullish on Envy, the Pro League land, everything, because I thought that this was Envy's chance to really solidify themselves as a top four roster. Because again, they got top four in the Pro League, like just in the Pro League, so they were going into the Pro League land 4 seed. Why is it doing this? So, uh, I've been confident in Envy. I just I don't know what I need to see from them. Again, I've seen a regression from them against the top 3 teams at least. It's hard to say, where SSG is because of SSG's performance, or I guess their lack of care for their performance online. Okay, so I if you're going by performance online and recency, which is what I usually do, I'm going. You would be smart to say envy. But I did that last event and I did that many times, but I saw envy fall short time and time again. But again, this is where going back to what I said earlier about the top three teams separating themselves from the rest of the pack or widening that gap. The top three that I'm talking about are Optic, Shopify, FaZe. FaZe against Envy. It used to always be going game seven, game five. I don't think that's going to be the case now anymore. I think that would be a 3-1 at max. And then FaZe move on like nothing happened because FaZe has also been improving, but I have not seen Envy really be improving. I've seen Envy at a standstill or regressing a bit. So in this situation, respectfully, I gotta go SSG. I gotta change my mind. I was beforehand. I've been bullish on Envy. I said Envy many times, but I need them to prove me wrong. This is their last chance, literally. But I thought last time was their last chance to prove me wrong, and they did not prove me or to prove me right. Rather, I wanted them to prove me right. It will be going to Game 5. I think it will be Game 5, but I need to see where their heads are at. How does Envy feel? Where's Envy's heads going into this tournament? Again, I don't know what's going on with Envy. I haven't seen the same Envy in at least scrim scores and whatnot that I have been used to seeing. What's going on, Stellium? SG are defending champions, remember? So Stellar Eco gonna play with a chip on their shoulder. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's see when they play. This is the later end, the latter part of the schedule. So they play they close out the day. They close out the day, which is a banger series. That's a banger series to close it out. We got a fire series to start off, Optic TSM on main stage, and then to end the day on main stage, we got SSG and Envy. Banger series. I think that this goes SSG. Let's see who Envy is going to be playing. They're both going to be playing the same teams, to be honest. Let's see. SSG play second right after the announcement, and then they play. Wait, they play back to back. Yeah, they got a break. So they got a break, play. Yeah. So, I mean, SSG is going to have a nice little schedule. Let's see what Envy schedule is like. Should be about, probably the same. Yeah, should be the same. Play, break. Should be the same, just on different streams. Yep. Play, break. So, they're both going to be about the same. They're going to be warmed up the same. But I'm probably going to go SSG, man. I think that those two series that SSG will get on LAN will help them going against Envy. I want Envy to prove me wrong and shut me up because this is their chance to do it. But I've been so bullish on them beforehand. I just feel like I have to go SSG because of what I've seen just on LAN. It's not like Envy's onliners, but I feel like they might always mess up in that game 5. And if they mess up at this event, bro, they're going to be shooting themselves. They're going to be so upset at themselves if they do not pull out a game 5 or a game 7 win this tourney. They're going to be so upset because that is the story of their entire this iteration of Envy. This is their entire existence is losing those close games. The Pro League LAN when they were just losing because of a season 1 month 3 mistake of not just splitting the spawns when they knew what the right decision was, but they were just in their heads about it and just overthought the situation and didn't make the correct play, which is what the case is with a lot of teams that are especially new or younger. Every team has a break in between each match this year. I like that. I like that. I like that this is all like, where is it? I like that this is all even. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like there's not a team that's playing first and then they wait the whole fucking day and then they play last. I like this. I honestly love the schedule looking at it because that's what I was expecting. That's why when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this is actually a good lineup of like like the timings. That's a W for HCS. That's a W by HCS. Excuse me. So, Again, I this is one of the biggest matchups of the day, probably the biggest matchup of the day. I don't think there's a single other bigger matchup of the day than MV SSG. I think majority of the other series, besides maybe this one right here, Mind Free Cloud9, uh, I think they're pretty straightforward. But I think that SSG MV, that's going to determine a lot, though. I think that that match right there determines the entire tournament. So, but I'm going SSG, or the entire tournament for both of those teams. So I'm going SSG though. But I think that that's going game 5, and NB could pull it out. If they pull it out, that's going to give them the confidence to fucking make a run to Sunday. Okay, if NB pull out that game 5 or something like that against SSG, that's going to give them the confidence to make a run towards Sunday. All right, but if they don't pull it out, they're going to be like, "Fuck, we did it again. That was our chance." So you know what I'm saying? So we gotta wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's gonna be my pool play predictions. So pool A, Shopify first, Luminon second, Akabe third, Legion fourth. Pool B, FaZe first, Mind Freak second, Cloud9 third, SWAT LATAM fourth. Pool C, Optic first, TSM second, Complexity third, Imagine Club fourth. Pool D, Space Station first, NV second, Omit third, Unreal Nightmare fourth. If you guys don't know, fourth place gets eliminated from the entire tournament. Third place starts in losers bracket, and the top 2 from each pool advance to winners bracket. When you are third place in your pool and you go to losers bracket, you will play the loser of one of the teams in winners bracket, and they will fall to losers round 1. If you win your winners round 1 match, you will be automatically in top 6. Winners round 2, you are playing for top 3, and then when you get to the winners round 3, that will be the winners final. So you'll be playing for a final spot. So again, we see my spots right here, okay, or my picks. So I'm going to enter them here, okay. Or what do you guys think will be easier? This might be easier, actually. Let's put it in here. Let's see, Shopify. Let's see, Shopify, Luminon, Akave. On Akave. Legion. This one was FaZe. Mind Freak. C9. SWAT. Where'd you get the spreadsheet? John actually sent it to me. I was gonna use this. This is what I used from my predictions for Charlotte, but John sent me this, and I was like, hey, you know what? This might be better to use. So, looking at it, it's probably much better. So, FaZe, my frequent Optic, TSM, Complexity, Imagine. And then last, let's see. Oops, I can't quite close this. Trying to give the is it urinum? How do you spell it? Is it? That's it. It's unarum. All right. So first pool A, we're gonna go Shopify. So we're gonna go Shopify, and then second from pool B, we're gonna go Mind Freak. Okay. I'm gonna enter all these beforehand. That way we can just go through seamlessly and predict them. Okay. So first in pool C, fuck. What did I just do? I forgot. What was this? What did this say beforehand, John? Do you know what this said beforehand? I mean, first pool D. Okay, first pool D. Okay, first pool D. Pool D, SSG. Okay, SSG. Second in pool C will be TSM. Oh, it doesn't matter. Delete the first. All right. Now we're getting official. We're getting official. All right. First and pool C. So this is Optic. The second in pool D will be Envy. And then first in pool B will be Face. And then second in pool A will be Luminon. I might just shorten them to LG, but I feel like people might be confused. Baby, calm down, mama. Calm down. Be careful, mama. She just jumped on the she jumped on the vacuum and she has beef with the vacuum. Move the cam. Okay, I will. Thank you for telling me. Oops. Oops. So I'm gonna go open the door for baby. I'm gonna move. Actually, I'm gonna keep the webcam. I'm off. The overlay off. Okay, hold on, baby. Let me go open the door for baby real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay. Continuing. So I'm gonna enter in the losers bracket as well. Oh, John, is that you? Wait. Wait. Oh no. What the fuck? I thought it was like John controlling you. I was confused. So there's no world where Optic meet SR in winners round one. No. There is none. We were talking about that earlier. Eli actually mentioned it. This event, there is no world where Optic and Shopify could play winners round one. Now I thought like it was you controlling it, but it was actually just like I had my cursor on the with the column or the block. This is my bad. I apologize, John. So third we'll see will be Cole. Gonna enter them in here. Third pool A will be Akave. Third in pool B will be C9. And then, oops. And then third in pool D will be Omit. Okay. I should pull up the map set too. Eli, I'm gonna pull that up when I get deeper in here. So now we are going to enter in like who I think is going to win each match. So Shopify Mind Freak winners round one. I'm going to go Shopify 3-0. So this will be SR. SSG TSM. This could get interesting. Okay. I think that TSM, I've always said that TSM of the old SSG at least, this iteration of TSM is, I would always say that they're like a poor man's SSG, the old SSG with Bound, or that consisted of Bound, Legend, Eco Stellar, because of their aggressive playstyle and how they're just consistently putting pressure on you and not worrying about the consequences, just basically always keeping the pace up. And that's what they like. They like that sort of chaos. So I think that this can go game 5. I think that this can go game 5. I think that TSM genuinely can beat SSG winners round 1. I think they can do it. Will I put money on it though? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard. This one's hard to pick. This one's really hard to pick. I'm going to probably go SSG though. I'm probably going to go SSG, but I definitely think this is going game 5. And I think that TSM has the potential to win this match. I think it might come down to game types. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and try and find those real quick because this is where these things matter. Because teams might have certain, like especially these types of teams, they might have their weak weak game types and their strong game types. Does anybody have the link for the game types, please, by chance? Well, I also don't think that anybody but Optic is going to win Skull Crusher, regardless. If I thought that Optic was going to underperform, then I would think that if they were just like getting smacked, then maybe I'd say that. But like I'm pretty sure Scump did the same thing when when the Optic COD team wasn't performing well. He made a prediction that they were going to lose one of their matches. Oh, here we go. Optic has been looking phenomenal since Charlotte. They've been looking phenomenal. 2 online tourneys, both back-to-back wins. Scrims have been looking great. Optic looks extremely locked in. It's not even like I'm saying something that's unrealistic or something that I feel is not true. No. So this let's go to winners brackets matches. This pool play matches or the pool play game types I think matter the most or excuse me, they matter the most for the SSG Envy series. Now, here we have winners. What was I looking at? I was looking at winners quarters. Okay, so winners quarters, Aquarius Bomb. This could be a good game type for TSM. I could see them just owing nonstop pink side. What's going on, Cyber? Just owing nonstop pink side, getting into getting into SSG's base and just causing a distraction. That to the point where TSM that SSG just get caught off guard very early in the series and they just take advantage of it. Give them an inch, they're going to take a mile type shit. And I could see Druck being very crucial on this game type right here too. Halowc is going to be crucial in the series entirely with his slang. It's going to be basically Halowc versus Stellar / suppressed with the slang. And Halowc is going to be the one that needs to basically come through the most for TSM along with Druck. So I'm looking for Druck and Halowc against Stellar and suppressed. But I'm still gonna go SSG. Live Fire Slayer, I probably go SSG. I think Stellar will take off on this game type. Forbidden, this one is kind of up in the air. I think that whoever gets control in the beginning is going to be able to keep that control, get one sniper or get both snipers and use that to get the next set of power weapons or keep control of the mid. And then that person will, just those people will be able to, you know what I'm trying to say? They will just be able to keep the other team pinned and also be taking certain routes that keep the other team pinned in their base. They will be consistently fighting from their base instead of fighting from the mid or on their sniper or the enemy team sniper, etc. hut and whatnot. So, recharge ball. I'm gonna go SSG on that. And then Solitude Slayer, I would go SSG on that definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna go SSG for this series against TSM. It will be going to game 5, I think, though, without a doubt. So, oops. I do. Okay. So going down, Optic Envy. I'm going Optic. I think that will be a 3-0. Again, I don't think that Envy has been matching up too well with the top 3 teams. I think that the gap between the top 3 and Envy has started to widen. So I think that Optic also has been coming into this event the most prepared that they have the entire season. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Optic. I'm saying that because of the road that they have had since Charlotte. They have won the C9 5K, and they also, granted, Shopify did not play in that, unfortunately, because there were some issues with the signups, but they also won the Cole Halo World Championship warm-up that I've been referencing a tremendous amount in this just in this video. So Optic in the scrims too, they have not streamed. They have been playing on or playing just on the low, no streams, haven't even streamed eights or anything like that, just straight locked in. I'm very confident in Optic this event. So I'm going Optic over Envy 3-0. I'm extremely confident. Like the amount of confidence I have in Optic is like on the like way on the scale over here, and the amount of confidence I have for Envy is way on the opposite side of the scale. If that makes sense. Like I don't have enough confidence in Envy anymore, and I hope they do prove me wrong and shut me up. But it's just on the opposite ends of the scale. So I'm going Optic over Envy 3-0. FaZe over Luminon. I'm gonna say 3-1. I'm gonna say 3-1. Luminon is gonna be looking great coming into this tournament, but the thing is, Luminon does not match up that well with FaZe. They do not match up that well with FaZe at all. I have seen FaZe throughout this season consistently beat Luminon, X Nemesis 3-0, 3-1, and it doesn't really look close. Doesn't really look close. You know, where is this? Who's this? Looking for. Let's go look at the scrims real quick. What's going on, Eva? Hope they come out stronger against FaZe this time. Yeah, they. I think that of all the top 3 teams, that they struggle the most with. They struggle the most with FaZe. What's going on, Spar as well? Like I think genuinely they struggle the most with FaZe. And it was even the previous phase or iteration of FaZe, they still struggled with them. I don't know if it's a playstyle thing between Trippy and Penguin, but I think that this FaZe too, is very confident going against Luminon. I'm trying to bring up their scrims, but Halo Data Hive has always been glitchy sometimes like that. Unfortunately, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so last time FaZe played Luminon, 13-4. This was on the 15th, a week ago. It does look like they have been looking very good against Luminon, at least in the time that they have scrimmed, and in the previous tournament matches. A little bit of a standout scrim right here. I didn't see this. 14-2 by Shopify. So Shopify looking like they were playing extremely well versus FaZe. So I always have said that I don't think that FaZe matches up very well with Shopify. Granted, I don't think that any other teams outside of Optic match up that great with Shopify. I think it's either Optic is there to beat Shopify, or nobody else really matches up that well that or can have the firepower to take them down. If Shopify is off a little bit, then yeah, but I don't think that we're going to see Shopify be off going into this event. So FaZe Luminon, going FaZe. I think that will be a 3-1 though. I think that will be a 3-1. So we're gonna go Optic FaZe. So for the winners semis, we have Shopify and SSG, and Optic and FaZe on the other side. So all the top 4, I'm predicting the top 4 teams to be all in the winner semis. Now going over to losers bracket. So loser of 3-4, SR Mind Freak. So we're gonna see Mind Freak versus Complexity and losers bracket. I'm gonna fill these in before I predict them. So loser of 7-8, SSG TSM. Okay. Now loser of 11-12, Optic Envy. We're gonna go Envy. I'm gonna capitalize, trying to show respect to the organizations and have the correct acronyms. Loser of 15-16, FaZe Luminon. We're gonna go Luminon. Okay. Now, Mind Freak Complexity. This can get interesting. We're gonna circle back. and start from the bottom. Luminon, Omit. We're going Luminon. I'm sorry, Omit, but we're going Luminon. Okay, I think that's a pretty straightforward one. I think that Luminon is still gonna separate themselves, even if they lose in even if they lose in the winners bracket early, they are still going to be able to make a run. We'll see how the losers bracket shapes up, but I think they're still going to be doing their thing in the losers bracket. So give me un momento. Okay. Now, Envy C9. I'm gonna go Envy. Okay. I'm gonna go Envy. Now, C9 beat Envy in winners bracket here in the tournament. Okay, C9 did beat Envy. But I'm gonna be confident in you, Envy, this time. I'm gonna be confident in you. I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. I'll be confident in you. I think that you'll be able to take down Cloud9. Do I think it's possible that you can lose? Yeah. But I have some faith in you. But I also know Collect is gonna want to shut me up more than maybe Jackson does. So who's trying to prove me wrong the most? You know, it's not even about Worlds. It's just who wants to shut me up. Who cares about Worlds? It's just about who wants to shut APG up. That's the tournament. I'm playing, if nobody can tell, it's satire. I'm gonna go Envy. All right. I think this can go game 5. I think Envy needs to make sure that if this is how it shapes up, they lock the fuck in. They lock the fuck in. I don't feel like Envy's locked in right now. I feel like Cloud9 might be more locked in than Envy. And that's the issue. Is why is Cloud9 more locked in than Envy when Envy's been on the cusp of greatness for months right now? Why have they not been able to get past that plateau? Why? Gotta think that. Like they need to lock in. Let's look at Envy's, or excuse me, let's look at Cloud9 scrim right here. They got 15 0'd. Why have they not played in 5 days? Did they not play in the tournament? Oh, these are scripts. They have not. They haven't played this entire week. I just. This is why I say they're not locked. They're not locked. Cloud9's not locked. From what I'm seeing, they played Envy close scrim. I think it might go game 5. I think it can go game 5. 7-8 lost to Envy. 15-1 lost to Optic. 3-1 Luminon beat Complexity in the tourney. Mr. Oink was in chat last week and saying they'll come correct. If you want me to keep it real, Stellia, that shit don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean nothing because I've seen them not come correct the past 2 weeks. Respectfully. I say this respectfully. I'm just keeping it above. Stephen APG Smith. I need to see more. I need less yappa, oinky, oinky, oinky. I need more kill, win. I need that. Like, I need more from Envy. But I'm going to give him the advantage over Cloud9. What's going on, Casey? I'm going to give them the advantage over Cloud9 because I have not seen nothing out of Cloud9 that has given me that much faith. The event was the 5th, right? So it looks like their scrims been a little bit average going into the tournament. I don't know. I'm gonna go Envy over C9, even though I think that can go game 5 and it can go either way. I don't know. I don't know how Envy's mentals are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I have faith in Envy's mentals. They might be typing a certain thing, but are they really in the field or in the lab with that same mentality? Like, we're going to come correct. We doing what we need to. Like, I remember Suppress said something on the watch party to Nick and I one time, and that really stuck with me, is that even if they might, he's talking about him on FaZe at the time. This was the first watch party because the iteration of FaZe where it was Suppressed, Penguin, Trippy, Falcated. He was saying that even if they don't do well in scrims online, they're still making sure that they are retaining the important information or the important ways that they're playing. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're losing their scrims, they're still retaining the important information. They're not just losing and not doing anything and not gaining anything. Or I think that SSG goes through the motions essentially when they scrim. So I think SSG goes through the motions. I don't think I think that Envy might be the same. I think the Envy might be the same. When you say absolutely not, Jason, what do you mean exactly? but I think Envy might be going through the same. And I don't know if C9, if they have that voice. I mean, it might be Boo Boo, but I just don't know if they have really been putting forth the time and effort, respectfully. So I'm gonna go Envy over them right now. Uh, but I can still see that going game 5 and going either way. I think it just comes out to their mentals. Uh, TSM Makabe, I'm gonna go TSM. That's pretty standard. Going TSM over Makabe. Hold on, let me check on baby, make sure she's didn't come in. All right. So going back to the match, we have Mind Freak versus Complexity. Now, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Mind Freak versus Complexity. Who would y'all put your money on? Who are you putting your parlay on? Who are you putting your parlay up? Who are you getting your prize picks on when it comes to Mind Freak Complexity? Now, it's hard for me to say because Mind Freak had such a dominant run. Or might not be, I'm just fucking around when I say dominant, but Mind Freak had such a crazy run. Let me keep it real. Mind Freak did have a crazy ass run last event. They have been continuing that kind of performance into their scrims online. Okay, they have been doing pretty well in their scrims online. I just don't know if they're going to be able to replicate that same sort of momentum. You know, they did do that from Liz's bracket and Am bracket as well. You got to remember that they did not make it through or make it to pool play through winners bracket. They lost to Gunplexion's team. Gunplexion, Uzi, Logators, and Coach Cloud. They lost to them in like their qualifying match, I think. Either the qualifying match or the second to last match. So, Mind Freak, they've lost all their series to Complexity from what I've seen right here. But I think if I go right here, did Mind Freak play Complexity? No, they did not. Mind Freak did not play Complexity. I might have to go Cole. I feel like Cole might get the better of Mind Freak. Unfortunately, I've been very bullish on Mind Freak, but I think that Cole might get the better of them. Like I think that I I think I might go Cole here. I haven't been too confident in Cole, but I think Cole versus Mind Freak, I'm gonna go Cole. I'm gonna go Cole. I'm gonna go Cole. Now, let's go back to winners bracket. All right. So that one's not easy. That's not an easy match to decide. I think that comes down to how they're feeling. You think Mind Freak come correct? I think they're coming correct too. I just think it's gonna depend on their mentals. Like this is a big series. It also is gonna come down to game types. Whoever is stronger on certain maps, I think whoever gets the momentum. But also, I will never count Mind Freak out of like a series. I think they had a couple reverse sweeps last event. Can't count them out. But I would probably still. I think at Worlds, I'm not gonna count out Ryan Noob. I don't want to count out Barcode at all either because I love Alex, but I'm gonna probably go Cole. I'm gonna probably go Cole there. But I do think that Mind Freak is going to be able to get second in their pool. Depending on what happens, I think that might be good for them. If they were to get third in their pool, they would be in C9 spot and they would be playing Envy if Optic, beats Envy. I don't want to jinx anything. Okay, knock on wood 3 times, knock on glass 3 times. So, I think that Mind Freak might. It sounds weird, but I think they might have a better chance versus Envy than Cole. I think that the way that Cole plays might really just catch them off guard. But I think that King Nick has been lackluster on land these last 2 events. Okay, I have not seen the same King Nick that we're seeing in online tournaments, in scrims, whatever it may be. This is not the same King Nick at these tournaments that we're seeing. They need King Nick to step it the F up. Okay, they need King Nick to step it up. Wait, Morley, who are you talking about, Joe? Are you talking about Joey? Talking about Cherish? Cherish is key as well. I expect Cherish to be solid though. I expect Cherish to be solid. I expect him to be like a key player for that roster, but I expect him to be playing at the standard. I need Ryan Noob to come correct, and I also need King Nick to do what he's doing online. It's not like he's an onliner, but he has not, because he also has two top six finishes, I think, in this season, either top sixes, or he got a top six in the top eight. But since he got on this Cole roster, they had their streak early in their lifespan, back when they were beating FaZe. They're really good versus FaZe. Cole is FaZe's kryptonite. I think that FaZe kind of got over that mental hurdle though. But TSM, or excuse me, Cole, after that, haven't seen much from him. I think that Mind Freak can definitely pull it out though. I think that's another Game 5 series. I think it's another Game 5 series. What's going on, Soup? What's popping? That's different. That's an interesting one. Is Legion going to play? Yeah, Legion's playing. They're just playing with their coach, and I wouldn't expect too much from them. So let's go back to winners bracket. Winners bracket. So SR SSG 3-1 SR. Okay, 3-1 SR. Pretty straightforward. Okay, I think that SSG's skill slash the teamwork that they do have is going to be able to get them to this point, but I think that SR still is a gap between them and the other teams. Or excuse me, SSG, there's a gap between them and the other teams. So SR wins that 3-1. I think that SSG might pull out the Slayer. I have not looked at game types too much for these series. I'm just going off kind of just my feeling and what I've seen recently in scrims and the past tournaments. So Optic FaZe, I'm going Optic. I think that will probably, let's look at the game types for that one actually. So this is winner semis. Winner semis. Origin Flag, I think that's going to Optic. Street Slayer, I think that's going to Optic. Lattice, this one is up in the hill one, or up in the air one. Lattice is a little bit of a shaky one for Optic. It's not the strongest one for them. But I think that if Optic get a good lead in the beginning, get a good start, and get some momentum, and don't have to play from the back foot, that is when they're in a better position on that game type or on that map in general. So live fire, I'm confident in Optic on that too. It's recharge still a little bit up in the air because I think FaZe plays recharge pretty well. But again, if FaZe plays on the back foot, if they're all stuck in gold, if they're all trapped in one place, that's when FaZe do not perform on that game type specifically. So hopefully it doesn't get there. And I think that the series will probably go 3-1 in Optic's favor. I think the one that could be up in the air is Lattice Strongholds and even potentially Origin, depending on how that goes off the rip. I'm talking about the beginning of game types a lot because in Halo Infinite, especially with the amount of power weapons that are on certain maps, the beginning is going to help you keep that control, and you'll be able, especially if you're even playing, I'd say 75% of the way, or the way correctly, you'll be able to keep that momentum and keep that control, and it will spiral into multiple caps, and you'll be able to just keep on getting, you'll be able to just what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? But you guys know what I'm talking about. It will just be able to help you consistently, especially Origin, you can get trip caps back to back to back. Yeah, Origin and Livefire Koth are both close to coin flips. I think the coin flip now is Lattice. I think Lattice is the coin flip for Optic. Snowballs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Snowballs. I think that Origin is up in the air. I think that is a 50-50 because of the beginning. Now, Optic get a good beginning. I think that's how it is for most teams too, but especially Optic on Origin. So I say that is a 3-1 in Optic's favor, though. So that's 3-1 in Optic's favor. Now that could go to game 5. I think that FaZe, they match up with Optic tremendously better. Thank you for the YouTube sub. FaZe match up tremendously better with Optic than they do Shopify. That's a fact. Now, what do you guys think? This is a question, especially Eli, if you're still here. What do you guys think is the reason of, or behind, why Optic is more prone or vulnerable to losing to other teams that are not Shopify, whilst Shopify is more so only prone to losing to Optic? If it's not Optic versus Shopify in the finals, a lot of people aren't predicting that other team to win more than 2 games. You know what I'm saying? But you got Optic versus other teams. Optic might not turn on the NOS until they get to Shopify. So I've always been curious why that has been the case throughout the season leading up to this event. It's not complacency. I agree with you, Euphyllis. I don't think it's complacency. I don't think it's complacency at all. Interesting. Interesting theory, Eli. Interesting. So Eli said, Loki, I think Optic doesn't respect the lower teams enough, and they end up over challenging in spots they shouldn't. Very interesting. Because do you think that Optic kind of plays to their competition? Um, which is I don't know if that's the best way to insert that right now, but if you know what I'm trying to say. They don't play their lives the same way against worse teams as they do against Shopify. I think that's an interesting way to put it as well. I think that's an interesting way to put it as well because they know when they play Shopify, they got to come correct. Simple, literally simple. So I understand that. That's a good theory. That's an interesting theory. Interesting theory. But I do think this event, I think they're gonna be on their P's and Q's, especially against FaZe. They know that FaZe is that one like lingering team that can, you know, catch them off guard. So I think when it comes to FaZe this event, they're gonna make sure they come correct for them because they do not want to repeat of the last event. And also judging by the most recent stuff, scrims and whatnot. Yeah, I expect them to be a lot more disciplined this coming weekend because also you've seen in scrims directly after the event, Optic smacking these respectfully smacking these other teams, like these other like these non-top 4 teams, like they're smacking them like 15 like 15-0, 14, 13-1. Like it does it's looking like if I went and looked, it'd probably be the non-top 4 teams winning no more than 2 to 3 games in a scrim versus Optic. The only teams that have gotten closer are the top 3. So uh I'm expecting them to be on point. You're underestimating Mind Freak, I think. Barcode Co have been playing crazy as of late. I I I don't know if I'm underestimating Mind Freak because I'm expecting them to get second in the pool. You know what I'm saying? It's more so about the matchups. It's more so about the matchups, I'd say. Because I do think Mind Freak is still going to get second in their pool. I think they're going to beat C9. But I would say just when it comes to Cole, I'd say when it comes to Cole specifically, that's why I said ironically, I think it would be weird that I think they have a better matchup versus Envy than they do in Cole. I think when it comes to Cole, at least judging by their scrims and whatnot, uh, they don't have the best series versus them. Granted, this one's close, but um, when it's a 10-3, I think that Cole might just have the edge over them because of their play style. But I think that Mind Freak has also been carrying over that momentum since Charlotte into their scrims and whatnot. And also the online tournament. They just got top 6 in this online tourney, which is massive. Okay, Mind Freak has been looking like a real deal team. Beating NV 3-2 and also, where is it? TSM. Those are both solidified at this point, top 6 teams, and then you along with Luminon. It sounds weird to say 3 teams are solidified top 6, but one of those teams usually has like an off event, and that's when the other comes in. But I do think Mind Freak has been doing exceptional in scrims and online tourneys and everything, but I just think that when it comes to complexity, I think that they might be the ones to catch them off guard. I think they also that it would go to game 5. I think that the series is going to go to game 5. Where is it? Mind Freak complexity. I do think that the series is going game 5. What's going on, Heaven? But that's my opinion because I think that worlds is just going to be a little bit different, just a little bit different. And that's not to say that I don't think Mind Freak is coming correct. I just think that complexity in this series they'll be on point. It said, mm. And they beat Optic at land. I know, trust me, they beat Optic at land, but not even just that. I'm saying that they have been doing well online too. I think that Mind Freak's doing well, or I think they have they show a lot of promise for this event. I just think that this series is the one where it might catch them off guard. I don't want to tweet my predictions. I don't want to upset any of my friends. I'm predicting this. Want to see? Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. This is actually fun. I love this like this document. Thank you so much, John. But these are my predictions for this um or yeah, for winners brackets. Winners brackets. So we have SR Optic. Now, when I come back to this series, this is where I'm really gonna be looking at game types. This series right here, winners finals, because I feel like when it's Optic versus SR, that's when it really comes down to game types. So yeah, that's my winners bracket predictions. So then we're going down to the losers bracket here. So finishing this, let's finish losers bracket all the way through, and then we'll go back to winners, and then we'll finish that. Okay, so losers round 2. Complexity versus TSM. Now, right here, this is where I'm confident in TSM. This is where I'm confident in TSM, and this is where I am not confident in complexity. Okay, so I'm gonna go TSM. Okay, I'm gonna go TSM. So this is 24, 25. Wait, this is round 2. So this is gonna be TSM. Now, I think this will be a 3-1 at max. I think that TSM, when they play complexity, I know it's Cherish's. It's his revenge, but also I predicted TSM to be beating complexity in their pool. So I think that they match up again. I think that TSM continues to have momentum and they beat TSM, or excuse me, beat complexity. So Alex pissed at Eli for not saying they're gonna get first. Now Alex would use it as motivation. That's why I say that people can shut me up. They shut me up. I'm Steven APG Smith. I understand if you want to shut me up and what I'm predicting, but I'm trying to use some sort of logic behind my predictions, and I hope you guys can see that I'm not just talking shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go TSM, 3-1 at max, but TSM, or probably 3-0. So loser of 13 and 14. This would be FaZe. So TSM versus FaZe, and these matches, I'll go into a little bit more detail about them. Okay, so let me put this here. So loser 5-6 would be SSG. So this is gonna be an interesting series right here. So SSG. Now Envy versus Luminon. Envy versus Luminon. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Envy versus Luminon. This one is difficult for me to predict. Now, if Envy comes correct, I feel like this is a series that Envy can get some fucking crazy momentum. And then they play SSG, and then it's their fucking time. And then it's their fucking time. It's time. But do they come correct? But do they fucking come correct? This is their fucking time. If they beat Luminon here, SSG's got something. They got something coming for them. They got something coming for them. Because with the fucking momentum that Luminon has been coming into this event with, into this event with. But at the same time, do you bet against Luminon? Do you bet against Luminon with how they have been fucking performing? They just took out 2 of the top 4 teams, SSG and FaZe, in winners bracket. They also got second, or excuse me, Eli, was it second or third in the Cloud9 online tourney? Luminon is looking the best they have the entire season. I said that we can give them some leeway and the benefit of the doubt for the last event, as we do every top team. We give them one event to just be like, all right, they fucked up, bad event, better come correct the next one. Unfortunately, theirs was just 2 weeks before Worlds, but these 2 weeks before Worlds have changed this team tremendously compared to what they were looking like prior. They did not have a pre-land going into Charlotte. That's going to fuck with a team of this caliber tremendously, especially when they're playing the same teams they're the same 2 teams. And one of them's not competitive, respectfully. The same 2 teams, one's not competitive. The only one that's competitive is Mashing. The third place team is the one that plays an AM bracket, but they're just honestly going to the event just to chill and hang out with the blokes. Hang out with the blokes and their mates. That's all. They're not super competitive, respectfully. And anybody that was on that third place team, the third best, the third place European team, the third best European team, they have been picked up by Majin. They got picked up by Majin, Septic, and also Bastos. Unfortunately, Bastos not able to compete at Worlds. I'm very sorry for him because I know that as really, really, really shitty. But Bastos and Septic both were on the third place European team. I think their team name was literally "Put the fries in the bag," and now they have picked up that the European talent is very slim. Respectfully, that the European talent has the talent pool throughout the years has just gotten smaller and smaller. I think ever since they cut off the regional tournaments after year one, where Valencia and whatnot wasn't an actual like a I guess look forward to event. So going back to Luminon, I think it's hard to count them out versus Envy. I think it's hard to count. I think it's hard to count them out versus Envy. I think it's really hard to count them out versus Envy. I mean, but I also think that this is Envy's fucking chance, bro. This is Envy's chance. Even if they all the losses in the tournament before here, this is their fucking chance, bro. They beat C9, they got that momentum, bro. They beat Luminon, it's over for the comp. That's Envy on Sunday. That's Yaxon on a Sunday. That's Yaxon on a Sunday. Thank you for the YouTube sub. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I mean, but even they haven't been doing well. Period. Envy has not been doing well. Period. Lost to Cloud9, but I think on LAN, I think Envy get that. I think on LAN, Envy get that. If I'm going by most recent stuff, which I do a lot, I would probably go Envy, or she's been Cloud9 over Envy. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Luminon or Envy? Luminon or Envy? Let me see what you said. I respect your opinion. You're a staple of the community and legend. I do feel there's gonna be some crazy upsets. Mind freaking Luminon are hungry as hell. I do think so as well. I agree. They've been practicing on low ping and landing. I think so too. I think Luminon. I have a lot of confidence in them both. It's just that if things go according to my bracket, then that's where I think that there's going to be. I think that's where there's going to be an issue just when they play complexity. Just that one team. I think it's just that one team. Because if you, I am predicting them to get top 2 in their pool and beat C9, who has been looking. They beat Envy in the online cup or the online tourney, but at the same time, Envy has been looking like they've been looking lackluster. I'll say that for in the 2 weeks since Charlotte. Piggy said in a chat that they're going to be coming correct at the event. I need more performance from them rather than talking, because before Charlotte, they were looking like the biggest threat, to the top 4, the biggest threat to the top 4. Now, they don't look like that biggest threat. Envy has a Slayer problem right now. Is it a Slayer problem or just a Game 5 problem, or is it both? That's where it gets tricky, because it might be both. It might be both. I'm gonna go Luminon. I'm gonna go Luminon. I'm gonna go Luminon. I think this goes Game 5 though. I think this goes Game 5, but I just don't know. I think the MB also could lose this series. I think if Luminon plays C9, then that's easy Luminon, respectfully. But Envy, if they beat C9, Envy Luminon, that's gonna be tricky. Don't see Envy getting past top 6. I don't even know if we see him get top 6, bro. I don't even know if we see him get top 6. Respectfully. I don't even know if we see him get top 6. Hi, baby. Hi. Hey, mama. Oh, baby. Hi. You just came and sat on my feet. Wutim has been frying. I hope that Envy's hearing me say this too. I've been so bullish on Envy that I think it's fair that I can say that I can be on the other side, because I feel like I've been let down as a supporter. That's why I'm saying this. What are your predictions for the FFA finals? I gotta know who's playing first before I can make a prediction. But Deputy Goober is gonna be in there. That's a fact. All right. Sorry for being away from the the monitors. Yeah, Glory has been looking great. Glory has been looking great as well. Glory has been looking great. So the last bit of ice that's been needed to close out hasn't been there in the events this year. It's not even just like it's not even if I'm speaking about Envy specifically here. It's not even like this year. It's been like the past few months. Well, I guess the past few months is when they kind of formed, I guess. But it's just been time and time again, bro. If Envy, but the thing is too, if Envy was able to get one of these Game 7 or Game 5 wins and actually get like a top 4 at the Pro League LAN or something, then the next one would be easier for them. But they still struggle on getting that first one. So they're consistently at the roadblock of what are we doing wrong time and time and time and time again, opposed to, all right, we did, what are we doing right? And we accomplished our goal and got over that plateau so they can look back and have that as a reference point to where they can keep on progressing from, but they haven't gotten past it. So at this point, they're in their heads. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes, or what they're saying, or what their practice is like, or what their scrims are like. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's fine, Fake. That's fine. He did it with Eli. He did that with Eli, I'm pretty sure. Right? Eli, y'all did that power ranking video? I love you. Hey. Hey. I love you. GG making noises. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Luminon here. So then I'm gonna finish top 4. Okay. I'm gonna finish the top 4. And then we'll go back to winners. So at this point, I want you guys to take into account a few things. These matches are going to be Saturday night, last match to finish off the night. Okay? Long days. Don't know who's going to be playing first against the AM team, or who's going to be playing first on Saturday. It's not the AM team anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Who's going to be playing first on Saturday? It's going to be a long day. TSM versus FaZe. Let's look at the game types. Now, we're going to go elimination quarters. Right? This is elimination quarters. Yep. Quarters. Lattice King. Origin Slayer. Live Fire Ball. Recharge Strongholds. Aquarius Slayer. What's going on, Wes? Lattice King. TSM versus FaZe. I'm going to go FaZe. Without a doubt. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in this series? I'm going to go FaZe. I don't even need to see the game types too much. I feel like right here, we go FaZe. No disrespect to TSM, but I feel like a TSM, if it was on the other hand, and maybe they play SSG, because this shit can still go either way. Okay? This winners round 1 can still go either way. We don't know. TSM turn up at Worlds. Yes, TSM had the first Worlds. TSM beat Eco and Stellar winners round 1. But that's when that team made a crazy run to the finals. That's why you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know, but I can guarantee you one thing. I feel like I can count more on SSG being that turn up team than TSM at Worlds. TSM is dependent on Druck and Tolic. Tolic has to be top 5 KD after day one. He needs to be in that mode. Okay? Tolic needs to be top 5 KD day one, slaying like a motherfucker. That's the Tolic they need. Okay? Druck needs to be the biggest menace on the map and getting into the other team's base and playing his life to a T. Durag on, probably. That's when we saw Druck play his best. They found my secret formula. They had they had the Durag on when they were playing crazy. Then they got top 3. They didn't wear it no more. They might bring it back for Worlds. Okay? But I'm going to go FaZe. Okay? I'm going to go FaZe in this series. I think that this will go game 4, though. I think that this will go game 4. I think that this will go game 4. I think that Recharge Strongholds. I think that the way that FaZe plays, I think that the way that FaZe play is a polar opposite way of TSM. FaZe is going to be able to slow the game down and catch TSM in those traps because TSM, again, I mentioned earlier how TSM was this iteration of TSM is a poor man's version of the SSG from last year that consisted of Stellar, Legend, Eco, Bound. TSM is going to be pushing. FaZe is going to be like, no. We anchor and we going to break you down. And they're going to be able to catch TSM off guard and be played that into their favor. So I'm going to go FaZe in this situation or in this series. So I'm going to go FaZe probably 3-1, possibly a 3-2. But I still think that this series right here can go either way. And that changes shit a lot to where we might see an SSG. Now, if TSM is able to beat SSG here in Reddit's round 1, that's when we're possibly going to see a FaZe versus SSG for the top 4 at Worlds. Now, that's where shit gets interesting. Shit get wicked. I was thinking about what I wanted to say. But for real, this is where shit can get really interesting. So, winners round 1 is going to be, I think this is gonna be on point. And mind you, I've been on point with my predictions for pool play and whatnot. Every event this year. Okay, knock on wood 3 times, knock on glass 3 times. Okay, continuing. So now SSG, Luminon for top 4. What do y'all think? What do y'all think, chat? What are we thinking here? SSG, Luminon for top 4. What do we think? This is interesting. Now, Luminon, they have the right trajectory. They've been up. But SSG Worlds, the defending champions, are not going to be going down without a fight. They're not going to be going down without a fight. This is a good spot for Luminon if they want to get themselves into the top 4. This is the best opportunity I think that Luminon could have, considering they don't match up well versus FaZe historically. Luminon, I mean, they have been up. SSG is on another level. What's the map set? So this is the map set right here. It's going to be the same for both series. Lattice King, Origin Slayer, Live Fireball, Recharge Strongholds, Aquarius Slayer. Lattice King, I don't know. You don't even have SSG getting to this part of the bracket. You think SSG is going to get... I'll look. Well, you have them matching up too. You have them matching up the same place as me. Or not the same place, but you do have them matching up in the bracket too. So you have this as a series that would happen, but just a series before mine. Which is interesting. So SSG's been weird. The consistency is so off. That's my thing with them. Is I feel like at this point it's bad to count out. It'd be bad to count them out. I feel like I can't count them out. I feel like I can't count them out because every time I do, they shut me the fuck up. It's Frost. That's Shopify. Shopify. Frosting Roll 1 Shopify. Or Frosting, not, it's Frosting Roll 2. Frosting Roll 2. SSG is suppressed, falcated, eco-stellar. They could easily get shit on or go crazy. But I feel like worlds are not. I feel like I know if there's one event where them niggas are going to come correct and not be fucking around, it's going to be worlds. But I can see they don't get two shits about how they play online and they don't care. So that's why I think that they are at a plateau, or they are at a they have a ceiling. They have a ceiling about how they're going to perform, or how well they can perform, because how their practice is. If they don't have the best and most efficient practice, they're not going to be able to surpass these teams that do have great practice and are playing day in and day out and getting good VOD review, etc. Sounds cliche, but that shit works. You know how you're going to perform at the event before you leave for the event. You know what your potential is. Okay, when I won Worlds, I knew that I was probably gonna win Worlds because of how well we were doing online, how we just won the previous event. I knew if we just played correctly, like, which we knew how to do, like we knew how to play winning Halo. Essentially, we knew how to play Halo well enough, and to the point where we knew how to win. You know what I'm saying? In a dominant fashion. So that is how you should be thinking when you leave. When all those people just pack their PCs and everything to leave today, they should be thinking in their heads, all right, we know how to play. I know how to play winning Halo with my team. We know how to play winning Halo. Okay? Like, that is what you got to be thinking. Like, I don't know. Gotta see how SSG plays in pools. But I do have SSG winning the pool and beating Envy. I think if SSG beat Envy, that's all they need. SSG is gonna get better with every series they play on LAN too. That's a fact. We can all agree on that. We can all agree that SSG is going to get better with every series they play on LAN. Okay. I don't know how the game types are for them because their online performance is such shite that I can't judge them on their on how they're gonna play or how they're gonna do on certain game types. It's so hard. That is interesting. Lattice is in every series of Lur's bracket. That is interesting. I don't mind the map. I don't mind the map. It's a very mixy map. I think it's good for spectators as well. Not a lot of fortress, which is an interesting thing as well. We have one fortress in all of losers bracket in loser semis. Winners, we have one in the grand finals reset. None at all. Interesting. Usually they had like at least two in winners. There might be more in. Yep, I was gonna say one here. So three in the event in total. One in pool play, one in the grand finals reset. None in winners at all. Technically, not a single fortress in winners. Do y'all think that hurts Shopify? Do y'all think that hurts Shopify when it comes to the finals or goes to these winners matches? Because Shopify is obviously gonna favor Fortress, and that's been in the winners finals or somewhere close to the winners finals damn near every event. How many times is it for Forbidden Flag in the lineup? One. That's one in winners. One in winners. One in the grand finals reset, or grand final losers finals. Excuse me, losers finals. Two, one, two. Yeah. No, I don't see it. I don't see it in pool play. It's just two. Wow, that's interesting, dude. That's interesting. I'm not gonna cap. That's interesting. And I wasn't trying to say that to hate on Shopify. Nobody think that I was hating on Shopify. Nobody think that I was hating on Shopify. I was just saying, like, do y'all think that, because usually there is like a fortress that's in the winners like finals or some shit. And Shopify that's one of the stronger maps. Nobody think that I was trying to hate on Shopify. Best man, do not think that I was trying to hate on you. Okay. It is the I'm not. I was not. I swear to God, I was not saying it to hate. I was just saying it because it's interesting. This is a. This. Here, let me put this. This is. This is a interesting map pool. It's an interesting map pool considering like what you said, Eli. Like forbidden, forbidden not being in the tournament at all is wild. Basically, like basically not in the tournament. Let me open the door for Gigi real quick. But no, TSM could ride that chemistry wave. They could. The X reunion. It's their so you know how shows always have like a reunion after everybody like leaves and whatnot, like a reality show. This is their reality show reunion. Half the teams in the tournament won't even play Forbidden once. Only teams that place in top two in pools. I know that's crazy. You would think that Forbidden would be more so in would be more in there. I'm surprised Fortress isn't in this bitch at all because they usually have Fortress at least like twice in both like in everything like pools winners and losers. I'm trying to see. They have a lot of live fire, a lot of lattice, as we mentioned, and I have seen a decent amount of origin. Was when I was looking at the game types for the series I was predicting, or the game types where I wanted to, or the series where I wanted to go look at the game types. Excuse me. Then I would notice that a lot of them might be starting with origin, or there might be an origin slayer, like game 7 here. Game 5 here. Interesting. Got winners finals. You got an Origin Slayer back-to-back series. That you usually don't see that type of shit. You usually don't see the type of shit. You don't usually see that. I'm no disrespect or anything, but you usually don't see that. You usually don't see Origin. You don't see a game 7 and then that shit in the very next series, the same exact game type. Usually you might see like this be the Origin Slayer and then this be like an Origin Flag or something like that, or somewhere Origin Flag in here somewhere. They usually don't see like the back to back. Saw 2 Slayer game 5, probably as expected. Saw 2 Slayer game 2. That's some winners. Origin Slayer, see game 5. Origin Flag, see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of Origins. See, yo, 3 back-to-back Origins. 3 back-to-back Origins. Streets Ball and Solitude King would be nice. I know. But 3 Origins and losers? Bam, bam, bam. Boom, 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 boom. 4, like, damn. 1, 2, 3. Origin in every series? 1, 2, 3. You got an Origin in every series and a Lattice in every single series. And losers. Y'all better. This actually might impact some predictions. When I think about it, if you play in losers and you good as fucking Origin, TSM is good at Origin. TSM might make a little run because they got good Origins. They got, say they go game 5 the first series. They got an Origin, bro. Excuse me. This is interesting. Never usually think that. Never usually see this type of shit. At Lattice in every series too. Teams that are good at Lattice. I need somebody to hit me with the Lattice stats or something like that. I'm being dead ass. I need somebody to hit me with the Lattice stats and the Origin stats for whoever's the best at those game types. I don't know how to do that or look for that on Halo Data Hive. Excuse my ignorance. But this is very important, y'all. People might not think about it, but these are things you have to take into consideration, bro. If a team is good at a certain map and you get to play it every fucking series, you are gonna catch some fire. You are gonna catch some fire. Decent amount of Aquarius too. Look at this shit, bro. You got Aquarius. One, boom, 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 boom. Three, bro, the same fucking game types every damn series. They're the same maps. You got Aquarius, three. Boom, 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 boom. Four. Aquarius in every series, too. You got Aquarius in every series as well. Damn. Aquarius, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Granted, it's almost game 5. You might not play it, but you are guaranteed to play Aquarius in 3/4 of all these, or not 3/4, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4/5 of all these game types or all these series. So they play Optic Game 2 on Origin. Who are you talking about? Put SSG Luminon in here. This is what I was originally coming here for. Let's see, I didn't even see what Spartan said. I forgot these are games. These are best of sevens. All games best of sevens. Optic World TSM on Origin yesterday. Good. So I'm gonna limit quarters. Lattice King. That's Optic though. I think TSM is good on that game type or that map. Just from H5 too. They love that map. So limit quarters. So y'all, this one right here, y'all going which one? You guys type SSG or Luminon? SSG or LG? SSG or LG? I might have to go SSG, but I want to see Luminon shut me the fuck up and start to make a run for the top 4 this at Worlds. You know what I'm saying? I want them to shut me the fuck up and make a run. I want them to. I want all that prep, like that prep and that practice that they've been putting in since Charlotte. Everything that's happened to them throughout the year, niggas trying to take away their salary and take a prize cut for them, or from them, not letting them get a pre-land. You know what I'm saying? Just dropping them. Probably didn't even give them severance. Like they got a chip on their shoulder, bro. These types of things matter. They got a chip on their shoulder. SSG. Are they just chilling for the rest of the year because they got their ring last year? They did what they needed to in Halo Infinite. This is an important. I don't think it's a question who's hungrier, but is that just something that we might see on the outside looking in? Who's hungrier, Luminon or SSG? You know what I'm saying? Who's hungrier? I think Luminon might be hungrier. They might be hungrier. Look at this shit, bro. They 3-0'd them. They 3-0'd them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's online SSG. It's online SSG, bro. But they also got top 2 in the C9 tournament too. I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. No, I'm dead ass. This is a very, very conflicting series for me. This is a very, very conflicting series. I'm gonna spill the. Oops. Let's fuck up. Oops. All right. I'm gonna spill the beans. Eli said that Luminon beat SSG. Okay, I'm spilling the beans. Eli said Luminon beat SSG. Spilling the beans. But I don't. No, he said he. No. Eli also said Eva. He said this in chat. He said that he doesn't even think that SSG get this far. Eli has this series right here happening right here. Like he has this series happening right here. Right here. I don't know, bro. But I also, bro, the thing is, if I see SSG play great in pool play, I'll be like, yeah, SSG's good. But I thought I fucked up my headset. I gotta move it. But I'm gonna go here. Let me. This is phase. All right. Should I? Dude, I just don't know, man. This one's a hard fucking one. I'm gonna go. All right, how about this? I'm gonna go 2 ways. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go say Luminon to be different. Okay. I think that Luminon really can do it. I think they're hungry as shit. I think that they can do it. But I think that SSG on land, I think SSG on land, it's world's time SSG. They know what the fuck is going on. I think that me saying that they're like Luminon's hungrier, that could be all just talk. I think that or SSG could be coming in this event and just be play. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Luminon though, because I think that Luminon recently, I think that they have been. I think it's kind of be messed up to not count them out. Here's how I'm thinking. It's messed up to not try and give. It's messed up to not give Luminon that faith and that confidence when they have been performing so well in the recent weeks going into the event. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's disrespectful, in my opinion, to not give that sort of same respect to SSG because they have been consistently proving us wrong time and time again and beating these teams that we consistently think are better than them because their online performance is just so lackluster that it's not even anywhere near their actual team's potential. That's how I'm thinking. So I don't know. I don't know. This one's got me messed up. I'm gonna say Luminon though, but I think that SSG possibly could take it. I think that if we see SSG perform well in pool play, which I'm predicting them to, I think that the series can go completely different. But I think that we're going. I think that I'm still going Luminon. Let's have some fun. Let's be different. They did go a long time period without practicing, but I feel like that's just worlds. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. What is y'all's thoughts on SSG? Give me y'all's thoughts on SSG. Like, what do we like? What do y'all as spectators and people that are watching? What do y'all think about SSG and what do y'all think's like? They're what do you guys think about them? The biggest thing is nerves for Luminon. They have to not be afraid to win. I agree with that, Eva. I agree with that because this is their chance. This is their chance. They got that. They have. This is the road for Luminon to perform properly. This is the road for them. I think there will be an upset. Mind Freak Illuminon. Envy is going to knock a top 14. The weakest link is SSG. I don't think Envy is going to knock that top 14 down, though. I don't think so. I think that Envy has lost that chance. I think that if they were going to do it, it was last event. I don't think that Envy in them. I don't think that they have the same confidence in themselves as they did prior to Charlotte anymore. That's why we have seen them have a drastic drop off compared to their previous performances the past few months. I don't think they have that same confidence. I think that they were up. They were up on like a high, like still like, yo, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. Charlotte came. Psh. I think that's what happened. I see some Halo data has stats for last origin. Thank you, Eli. Let's see. Optic last win rates, Koth. So Beth Koth. Shopify. Best is strong. Ooh, interesting. That's interesting. Their best and their worst are reverse. Yeah. So Shopify, their worst map. It looks like Shopify's worst map is Origin. So in vacuum, SSG doesn't. Wait, let me see what this says. For me, SSG ceiling is third and their bottom is eighth. I think that's fair. I think their bottom is top six. I think their ceiling is fourth. I don't think that. I think FaZe is top three locked. I think that FaZe have earned themselves that top three lock at this point. But they could have an off weekend. But I think that FaZe, from what I've seen, they have off online days. But when it comes time for the tournament, we have seen them perform time and time again. Even Trippy has been a phenomenal player this entire year, kind of going under the radar in terms of people talking about some of the best performing players throughout the entire season. Again, you got to remember, Trippy and Penguin, they have gotten to the finals twice this season, not just once, twice. Granted, not the best performance in the finals, but they have gotten to the finals twice. So you got to give them that credit, and they are looking like a whole new revitalized squad. It's in a vacuum. I think Luminon win, but land just brings different variables. SSG doesn't have it this year, but 10-year and individual skill is carrying them. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like SSG can make it SSG can make it by with less than other teams. If that makes sense. Like they can make it by just shitting on you and just being SSG. But if they're playing on point, then they're looking like SSG on Saturday of Salt Lake City, where they were looking like a phenomenal top three team. But then Sunday came and they let they ran out of steam. They ran out of steam. So I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna go FaZe Luminon. And what do you guys think here? What do you guys think? And when I'm going to predict all the way up to losers finals, and then we're going to go back to winners finals. What do you guys think? FaZe Luminon. We talked about the series beforehand because they would match up in winners round one. I still think at this point this is going to be remember this is going to be a brand new day. This is going to be a brand new day. There's going to be teams that this Sunday morning, best of 7. Okay, Sunday morning, best of 7. Okay, brand new day. All no Sparty, all series for top 4 on Sunday are all going to be best of 7s, all of them. So these are the series for best of, all the game types. When I go back to winners finals, that's when I'm definitely going to be looking at the game types between Optic and Shopify. That's a good point. You said also, Eli, that their win percentage on the worst game type is still above a 70. So FaZe beats up on Luminon again. So you guys think what is the series 4-2? FaZe 4-2. I think that's a good. I think that's a really good. I think this might even be a FaZe 4-1. You want me to be honest? Not even looking at the game types, I think this honestly might be a FaZe 4-1. I think that Luminon's best advantage they have on Saturday is them playing a decent amount of series and getting getting those reps in and catching that momentum. I think that is Luminon's best chance. I think when they come out on a Sunday, they don't have the same experience as FaZe does coming out on a World Sunday, like fresh, coming out off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you come out hot. I think that FaZe will have that advantage. No disrespect at all to the Luminon players, but I think that this is going to be FaZe. Okay, so I'm gonna pick FaZe 4-2. I think that's good. What do y'all think? FaZe 4-2. I'll say FaZe 4-2 because I think that Luminon, if they get to this point, that they will be catching a lot of fire. They will have some momentum. So I think FaZe 4-2. So I say FaZe 4-2. Now, under what maps? Live Fire Strongholds. I'll give that to Luminon. Solitude Slayer, I'll say FaZe. Aquarius Bomb, I'll say FaZe. Lattice Ball, I'll say FaZe. Live Fire Slayer. I'd say that might be either FaZe. That's a toss up in my opinion. But if FaZe lose this, then they win Fortress. But I think this could be a 4-1. Looking at the game types, I think this might even be a 4-1. But I think that this could possibly even be a 4. Like if it goes to this game type right here, Fortress, then FaZe got that. Fortress, like FaZe is really good at Fortress. I think, especially I think FaZe is good at Fortress against Luminon specifically. What's going on, Valerian? What's popping, homegirl? No, I will not. I will not be at Worlds, unfortunately. I will be doing the watch party from the Optic office with Scump, Methods, and Maniac. So make sure you guys be on the lookout. Friday is gonna be a fire ass watch party. Giveaways. I got a merch drop too. That's my little announcement from the title. I got to give a merch drop on Friday. It's gonna be a little something. Make sure you guys support. Okay, I actually fuck with the designs. Heavy. So make sure you guys support. So. You're not going to the last worlds. Why? So the reason why we are not going to the last worlds is because we could not get a spot to watch party at the event. We could not get a spot to watch party at the event. We were going to be charged a very, very hefty fee that I think would be the equivalent to hosting an actual booth that you see at the event with like merch and whatnot. And the price was way too high. When it came time to finalize it, the price got upped even higher. Like the original price was too high for us, and when it came time for us to finalize, the price got upped even higher. They did offer and say, hey, like they asked what was the reason behind us declining, and they asked if there was like a number that we would be comfortable in going with, but at that point we'd already basically confirmed even to ourselves that we're not going to go and we're going to be doing it from the office with Scumpin methods. So that is what happened. No disrespect to HCS, nobody at all. Nobody take it like that. So so yeah, as I said, I wanted to go look at the game types for the winners finals. And this would be Optic Shopify, because we did all of losers bracket up to losers finals, which is top 3. So winners finals is for a spot in the finals, if you guys don't know. So look at the game types. This would all be best of 7 too. Okay, this would be on Sunday as well. So this would be both of these teams' first match on Sunday. Live Fire Oddball, first game type. What do y'all think? Okay, we're gonna go this game type by game type. I'm gonna go Optic. Okay, I think this is a fantastic fucking way that Optic will open up Sunday. All right, I think this is a fantastic day for Optic to start the like, or fantastic way for Optic to start the day. I appreciate that, Shady. I appreciate that, but it's all good. Only thing I will say is I don't think that the location that we would be using for the watch party will be getting like, I don't think anybody's gonna be there because it's not like we require much. It's like a little, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like a little 10 by 10 space, maybe less, but it's what it is. We're gonna have a fire ass watch party from the office. Fire ass watch party. So first game type, Live Fire Oddball. Second game type, Solitude Slayer. They have played this game type so many times it could be a toss up between both teams, because this game type usually is game 5 or game 7 in their series. Okay. But I'm gonna say Solitude Slayer. I'm gonna go Optic because Optic's gonna have some momentum starting off the day like this. This is gonna be a great way for them to start. Now, Shopify get this W, that's when shit gets interesting. Okay, Shopify get this W, game 1, shit gets interesting. Also important to note, Eli, that every single Optic scrim always starts with Live Fire Oddball on purpose because they like to start off with some momentum. I don't know that 100%, but I do, because even when we teamed, we still started with Live Fire Oddball as our first game type, and I'm pretty sure when I was on the team, Live Fire Oddball was one of our best game types in just Live Fire in general. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that there's some validity to what I'm saying, but Live Fire Oddball is how Optic likes to start their days. So I'm going Optic game 1. Game 2, what do y'all think? Solitude Slayer, what do y'all think? Let me make sure Gigi didn't open the door. Hold on. Fuck. Right, hold on. Nope, she didn't. All right. Game 2, Optic. I'm going Optic as well. I don't know if there's a way sort of finals will be phased with Optic and Sorry gets not that early on. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. At Charlotte Online, I think this is gonna be Optic up 2-0. Okay, now it's Optic up 2-0. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, now game 3 is Lattice King. Now Eli let me know that Optic's best Lattice game type is King of the Hill. Okay, their win rate is 84%, and that is their best win rate on Lattice, or their game type or game mode with the best win rate. Okay, on Lattice. On the other hand, Shopify, their win rate on Lattice King is 79%. It's a little bit lower compared to Optic's 84%, but their other percentages in the other game modes are higher than Optic's other lowers, or Optic's others in other game modes, on the same map. I hope I said that correctly. So Shopify's Lattice oddball percent or win percentage is 83%. Okay, and that's their second best, and then their best game mode on Lattice. I'm trying to say, I have to make sure I say this correctly. Their best game mode on Lattice is Strongholds, and their win rate is 87%. Okay, 87% is a crazy win rate. Okay, so Optic's best game mode on Lattice is King of the Hill with an 84% win rate, but there are others. This is why I say that Optic's best map is not Lattice, and sometimes the game mode against, depending on who it's against, is a toss up, and it comes down to their momentum. Oddball, the win percentage is 77%, and the Strongholds, their win percentage is 72%. But game three, again, their best lattice. I'm going to go Optic. So I think this will be Optic up 3-0 in this series. Okay. I think this will be Optic up 3-0 in this series. So I'm going to go Optic 3-0 to start it off. Versus FaZe, winner semis. I haven't looked at that. I think, I did. I did look at that. This is how this conversation started. I said 3-1. I think when speaking specifically about Optic and Shopify, the stats against other teams misleads the argument. Those two teams also play each other differently. They haven't played lattice enough against each other for the data to be viable at this point. I do think that the other game types is fair. Maybe I do agree with that though, Hardy. That is a good point. That the data on lattice is not going to be the best or the biggest sample size, but the other two, at least for the start off the series, is I think that's fair. These are fair for Live Fire and Solitude. Who loses has. I watch the next Halo. Well, anybody that loses, period, is gonna be fucking upset. Trust me, I know how it is. What's the baby G? I came in last week and mentioned I should nick the X5. It's supposed to be delivered last week to have. Thank you, Savvy. I appreciate that so much, homie. And I do not know. I will message him today, and I will see if he has gotten it, or I will see if Hector has gotten it. But I do not know. But I will check, and if I don't check today, then I will make sure I check this weekend with anybody at the office. But I will 100% will make sure. And if I don't, if you don't hear anything back, then make sure you just come in the chat during the watch party, and please do the same thing that you just did with the highlight. That'd be very appreciated. So going back to the game types. So I think this will be 3-0 by Optic. I do think that recharge strongholds can get a little bit dicey. I do think that I will say that this might go to Shopify. I do think that if Optic gets a 3-0 lead in the series, that they're going to be running it down on this game type though, and they're going to want to end it with a 4-0. Do I think that can hurt them negatively? Yes, but I would say that this could be more than likely. I'd say this is going to be SR. But Live Fire Slayer to end the series, I think that this will be Optic and they will win 4-1. It sounds weird, but I'm getting serious. Just not national bias or something's crazy could happen. I don't know about that. Telepathic. I do not know about that. Reverse sweep potential. I think the Aquarius bomb is this tricky one. I think the Aquarius bomb is a tricky one. But I think if Optic get a good Live Fire Slayer start and they're not playing from the down foot with Shopify having camo and snipe and all this other shit and having that shit snowball, I think that's, but I think that if they want to end the series properly, Optic is who I'm talking about, they want to end it right here. They want to end it right here. They don't want this to go to game 6 and game 7. What's going on, Valiant? What's popping, homie? But I think that, and what do you guys think about that? Do you guys agree with my take right there? I think that if the Optic wants to win this series comfortably, they need to end it by Live Fire Slayer. They need to end it by Live Fire Slayer. Versus Shopify has a better win percentage than Optic on lattice off-ball, but Optic 100%. I understand, Artie. You're right. You're right. I 100% understand. But I think Optic, if they want to win the series comfortably and also be sitting in the finals comfortably, they want this to go to game 5 or no more than game 5. Not to say they can't win these others, but SR, like I think that Optic's gonna have such a good start in this series that they want to end it by game 5 rather than even give Shopify the potential of having some sort of comeback or gaining some momentum. After they have to play power weapons against SR, they have to play. That's why I think that if they don't play from the back foot on Live Fire, they'll be the ones in the driver's seat and they'll be able to just run away with the game type because they'll know how SR plays. But I'm saying Optic 4-1 here. I'm saying Optic 4-1 winners finals, and that's looking at the game types as well. So we're gonna go Optic, and then we're gonna do this one's SR. All right, now SR phase losers finals. What do you guys think? Game types, losers finals. Right here, we're starting it off with Forbidden. Okay, again, phase is gonna be starting off the day with a W against Luminon. But Shopify, on the other hand, will be starting off the day with a loss to Optic. Do you think that FaZe is able to overcome the plateau that they've had the entire season, which is Shopify outside of DreamHack? I think that this helps. Even if Shopify does lose, we'll go by game. We'll go down game type by game type again. But even if Shopify lose against Optic and winners bracket, they have a good bounce back game type right here with Forbidden. So to start the series, I think that this would be SR, as you guys are saying. I do think that this would be SR. And then Aquarius Slayer. This is where I think the difference in playstyles is going to hurt FaZe. I think that giving SR this game 1 is going to hurt them in this game 2. And I think that's going to be a 2-0 just to start the series, a quick 2-0. I don't think it's going to be a fast or a long 2-0. I think this is going to be a fast series if it comes down to these teams and these game types. So you think FaZe for game 2? You think FaZe for game 2 over Shopify? You think they're able to bounce back? I wish I could see their 1v1 matchup. You know what I'm saying? Or head to head. I don't know, Eli. I feel like I feel like this is a series where Frost is gonna be doing that top snipe, that top snipe shit on Coliseum, where he just flies and grabs the snipe and just be charging at people. I feel like that's what Frosty's gonna be doing this game. This game type. Speaking of, I gotta book my haircut. Hold on. I'm gonna book my haircut real quick. All right. All right. I had to book my appointment. My haircut appointment real quick. Sorry. Do a different opening strat. That's my thing. That's what I FaZe is very good at CTF. I agree. Before the flag, yeah, I'm probably gonna go SR for this one. Definitely gonna go SR. But you guys say FaZe map 2. I'm gonna go SR map 2. I'm gonna go SR map 2. Even though this is one of FaZe's best, I think that SR is gonna start the series 2-0. Recharge the oddball. Now this one I could see FaZe winning. This one I could see FaZe winning. Either or. I see FaZe winning either game 2 or game 3. I think game 2 or game 3 is going to be for FaZe to win. Now, if they don't win either or, then that shit is chalk. It's 4-0. Like real talk. Like real talk. But it depends how FaZe is waking up that Sunday, if they have a good breakfast, because they usually do not match up the best with Shopify, unfortunately. Why are you hating this, Dav? I'm just being honest. I think I've been very fair and respectful to all teams. What do you eat for breakfast on tourney day? I usually get like a breakfast sandwich, but on Sundays I would always have blueberry pancakes, bacon, eggs, orange juice. Always on Sundays. Always. Always. Sundays is necessary. Blueberry pancakes on Sundays, necessary. Or the like I would have the Starbucks sandwich. FaZe need to win game 3. I think I agree. I agree 100%, Magic. Don't forget to remind everyone to wear deodorant. You're right. Even though I'm not there, I do need to remind everybody. Thank you. I'll make my tweet either today or tomorrow. The force and you're open other place basically to get blueberry pancakes. Yeah. Ask Leezy. Is Leezy in here? If Leezy is in here, ask him. Look. Here. Do I find this? What the fuck? But yeah, I do. It was smooth. So I was watching 4 points, and then after that, I got to go back. I got scrims. That's 6 opportunity to. I'm blessed to still have the opportunity to play and do what I love. Yeah. Compete. 18 years is longer than a lot of people get to do anything. You guys want to know my event meal, or at least what I usually get? It would usually be my Sunday morning meal, blueberry pancakes. I always get that Sunday morning blueberry pancakes, bacon, eggs, smoothie if I can. Fire! 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 Okay? Fire! Fire! If you're in Seattle, this kind of pissed me off because I'm not fucking there. I'm not fucking there. And I love my pancakes! These shits were so good! Bro, I told you, I don't cap. All right? I don't cap. These shits are so good. You can tell by the edges on these hoes. Look at the edge. Look at the edge of the pancakes. You can tell by the sugar in the middle, the blueberries on the side. You can tell by the puree, the jelly puree in the ramekin that's next to it. I didn't even use no fucking melon, but them pancakes were so fire, bro. Like real gas, bro. Real gas. I'm real. Man, I got that palate. Okay. Like real gas. Like no cap. What place is this? It starts with the A, I think. Here, let me see if when you get there, John, Andaluca. Here, I'll send it to you. Found it. It's in a hotel. I sent it to you. This is fire. I got the blueberries too. It's a sign. Yeah, it is. When I'm on stage and fire, bro. Fire. All right, back to the fucking predictions. Bro, I'm telling you, man, them shits is gas, man. I did my research on them hoes, brother. It's fat. It's that shit, man. That's that shit. That's that shit. That's the shit. If FaZe win game 3, I can see them winning game 4. Oops, let me look back. Okay, back to the predictions. Let's reel it in. Where is it? So game 3, recharge ball. I can see that too. I think that FaZe actually does play very well on Live Fire King. I think that is a game type for them. You guys said Street Slayer is not one of SR's best game types. You guys said that correct? Like, That's why I think that this series I think it could go. I think it could go game seven, seeing how FaZe has been playing recently, but I think it will go 4-2. I think it will go 4-2. I think it will go 4-2. I think it will end on Lattice Strongholds. I think that Lattice is, yeah, I think that, yeah. I think that that will be the end for FaZe. I don't think it gets to Recharge Slayer. Now, if it gets to Recharge Slayer, FaZe got a good chance on winning that game seven because that's one of their better Slayers if they're not trapped in fucking gold just playing like pussies. Okay. If FaZe is not trapped in gold playing like pussies, then they have a good chance at Recharge Slayer. But they always find themselves getting caught up in that. But I think that Lattice Strongholds is going to be the end for them. Again, Lattice Strongholds, Shopify has a 87% win percentage. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to them. These game types I think favor them for the most part, especially game one and game six. The middle ones, they just have to get like two, and they're straight. Just two of these three, and which I think they have a very good chance at. The only one that's like a little bit mixy is Aquarius, and then possibly Livefire King. But FaZe need these two if they want to make some shit happen in this series. They need these two. They got a better chance on the rest, but they need these two. They have to steal them. So we're gonna go SR 4-2 against uh against FaZe, and then we have Optic FaZe winners finals. What do you guys think about that prediction? You guys think this is good so far? Can we go through the series if it's Optic instead of SR2? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. So says Optic. I still think Optic win Forbidden. Okay, I still think Optic win Forbidden. Aquarius Slayer. This could be a loss for Optic. Still up in the air, like the same with Shopify. Recharge Ball. I think that this is good for Optic. I think this is good. I think Oddball is good for Optic. Period. Because that Oddball is their best game of period. Livefire King. I think this is 50-50. I think this is 50-50. I think that this one, I think that's, yeah, I'm saying I know he wanted me to do the same series as if it was Optic and losers bracket instead of SR, if that makes sense. Like as if Optic lost winners finals and then they drop down and then they're playing FaZe. Like, who do I favor in each game type? So I think this series it would be a 4-2 still. I think it's a 4-2 with just different game modes that they win. Like that FaZe win. I think that if FaZe were to win a game type, it might be Livefire and then Aquarius. But I think Forbidden, Recharge, Street Slayer, and Lattice would be good for them. I think those would be good game types for them. I think that Strongholds on Lattice would be that could be iffy. That one could be iffy because again, going back to the percentages, Optic has a 72% Strongholds Lattice win rate. So I think that's the worst Lattice by far. Also, not like by far, but it's the worst Lattice. So, but Recharge is where it can get tricky because I think FaZe is good at this game type. But I think Optic, if they get a good start, I say that about a lot of game types, but it does matter in Halo Infinite because things can snowball out of control. Landslayer, the pacing, I think that this goes to Optic. So I think it could potentially go game seven, but I think it goes to Optic if it does go to game seven. Okay, so now we go to finals. Finals, Shopify Optic. Looking at the game types, we have Aquarius Flag. Start off the finals. What do you guys think? No problems, buddy. What do you guys think? Aquarius Flag to start off the finals. Optic Shopify. Who are you guys going for? What were you guys going for? I think it's a coin flip too. I think this is a 3-2 type of game. I think this goes 3-2 in the score. I think this is a 3-2 in the score. I think that I like that game, yeah. I like that. So I'm gonna go Optic. Grand finals. I mean, this is kind of similar to the game types in the losers finals, just in different order. So Recharge Slayer, I'm gonna probably get that to SR. I'll say SR. What do you guys think? I'll probably go Recharge Slayer. I'll go SR. I'll go SR. But at the same time, Optic Slayer has been looking good. Optic Slayer has been looking good. Optic Slayer has been looking good, especially in the last online tourney. Optic Slayer was looking like they are on a different pedestal, like on a different level. They have definitely been putting in the work, and I think it showed. I think that this could be either team, but I'm gonna say SR for this one. I think that the Slayer still has improved, but I'm gonna go SR. What's it? Let me think. Fuck. I have some shit I gotta do. Um, so going back to this live fire strongholds. I don't know. I'm gonna go optic. I'm gonna go optic. Live fire strongholds. I think this is gonna be close as shit. I think live fire strongholds is close as fuck. I look back through land matchups and pace. I've only taken one game up SR on land since their team changed. Yeah, they don't match up well at all. That's why I always say that if there's not optic in the finals playing against FaZe, or excuse me, playing against SR, I do not have a lot of faith in the team that is matching up against SR, because the way that FaZe plays against SR is not good. Like they just don't. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is exactly, but it, the matchup is not just not it's not good. Like even in the middle of the season, like not middle of the season, I say like a little bit before Salt Lake, it was looking like the gap between FaZe and Shopify was big, like a big gap. Now it's still looking like that a little bit, but it's there hasn't been a lot of progression in my opinion between FaZe and the other teams. Excuse me, FaZe and Shopify. Like I think that FaZe has gotten closer to like Optic, but I don't think that FaZe has necessarily gotten super close to SR. That makes sense. Thank you, Z. I hope you're doing well too. I hope you have safe travels to the event as well. And I hope you enjoy yourself, and best of luck to you. I'm very, very happy that you're able to compete at Worlds. Same with Gators. I'm extremely happy. You have no idea. I've said it many times before. Make sure you guys wish Z BTH alumni from the BTH trials making his way to the World Championship along with Gators. Okay, make sure you guys wish them both best of luck. Okay, these two guys would not have been able to go to their first event if it wasn't for the BTH tryouts. So I'm extremely happy of what we were able to do. Through all the support through the community and everything. So I'm very, very grateful that we were able to do that. So that was the whole goal. So I'm very happy about that. Okay. So okay, back to the game types. Before I start crying. Okay, so lattice oddball. Now, the reason why I want to say optic live fire strongholds is because I do not think that this is a good game type for optic. I've been bringing up the win percentages crazy, but it's not like optic's not good at it. But I might give the edge on lattice oddball to optic. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I think that I get the edge on lattice oddball to optic. So this makes the series 2-2. You think optic lattice ball? Think optic lattice ball? I think it's you're saying that because last weekend too. That's true. That's true. Me and Gators will have an interview on stream for you. Please do. Please do. That's true. That is true. That is true, Kamier. That is true. Now I think that either one of these I think is like 60-40. 60% optic, 40% Shopify. After thinking about last weekend, which is a good point, I feel probably more confident on Lattice Oddball than Life for Strongholds. I think that this one's good as long as power weapons are going well in this tournament for Optic. Like Optic's been doing well at getting them, utilizing them, being efficient with them and power weapons. Because I know that Shopify always is efficient with their power weapons or the power ups. So this is a game type specifically where they're extremely efficient. Yeah, servers have been weird. I don't know. I feel like either way. I feel like at this point the series is 2-2. This is 2-2. I feel like this is 2-2. Two. Yeah, I feel like it's 2-2. I feel like this series is 2-2. Now, game 5, Origin Slayer. This is where it's decided. Who do you guys have? Game 5, Origin Slayer. This is a bigger game 5 than you think. Okay, this is a bigger game 5 than you think. I'm gonna go Optic on Origin Slayer. I think Optic's got a good track record on Origin Slayer, and I think this is a good game type for them. Uh, I think this is a good game 5 for Optic. It is a coin flip. I think I think it's a coin flip for most teams, to be honest. It all depends on the start. It all depends on the start. The start of all the game types that I've been saying, the start matters on them. What you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not, or tell me if I'm faded. I think that the most snowbally is Origin Slayer. I think that is pretty fucking snowbally. If a team gets a snipe, they get the rockets. That shit is a snowball fest. Okay, that shit is a snowball fest, and you can't do nothing. And that shit can be either way. But that's also Renegade's playground, NBA. That's Renegade's playground too. That's my bias, but that's Renegade's playoffs or playground too. That is Renegade's playground too. Like I agree with you on Frosty. I think it's Renegades as well. I think it's a coin flip. Whoever starts well. Whoever starts well. Recharge King. I'd probably give this one maybe a Shopify. I don't know what the stats look like. Eli, you could help me. Like I think that Recharge might go Shopify. Live Fire Strongholds is snowballing. That's why I said if because Shopify is good at getting power weapons on that map too. If they get a snipe camo, they'll be good at controlling it and maintaining their 2-cap or 3-cap, knowing the timings or pacing of when to challenge it or to let it go if they don't get enough trades or enough damage, etc. I think SR's king, Street's king. But then you go to game 7. I think this series goes to game 7. Even looking at it, I think thinking about it, I do think it goes to game 7. I didn't even expect that to actually end up like that, but I do think this goes to game 7. Opposed to the winners finals, where what I say it was like 4-1 or 4-2 because of the game types favoring Optic. I think this goes game 7. I think that game 7 Street Slayer is where Optic can edge out Shopify and win game 7. I think game 7 goes to Optic. 6-7. Kiki. I had to. You did it impulse, not my fault. You did it, not my fault. But I do think that this goes game 7. I do think that finals goes game 7. And Optic win game 7, Street Slayer. I do think Optic wins Street 7, Game Slayer. Regardless of how it gets to game 7, this finals is going to game 7. Looking at these game types, this finals is going game 7. Now let me look at the game types for the second series, actually. So, Grand Finals reset. Live Fire King, Aquarius Slayer, Fortress Flag, Recharge Ball, Live Fire Slayer, Solitude Slayer, that is Strongholds. Now, the second series, if you're looking at the game types, that there might be better. Hey, peace out, Eli. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, homie. I appreciate you. Thank you for the stats, everything. Thank you for the input, everything. Now, I will say, you guys, the second series that has a lot of game types that might favor SR. That has a lot of game types that might favor SR. I think that Optic, if they are to play SR in the finals, they're gonna want to get that shit done and over with in the first series. So, respectfully to Shopify and to Optic, I do think that The second series has more game types that might favor SR. So, but I'm going Optic winning in the finals 4-3. Game 7. Confetti. Woo! So, those are my predictions. Those are my predictions. What do you guys think? That was actually a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Took a little minute. Took a little minute, but I like the breakdown for everything. I like the game type breakdown, and I hope you guys like the insight into how I'd be thinking when I'm looking at certain matchups or when I'm looking at certain game types or how the or what time the match is, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How'd I do? How'd I do? How'd I do it? You better answer. You better answer. Yeah, I agree, Impulse. I agree. I agree. Uh, so I'm trying to think. I'm not getting off or anything. I'm not getting off. I was just thinking about possibly um ending my YouTube stream. I know y'all are watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys, but I'm thinking about ending my YouTube stream at least. That way, this can be a YouTube video, and I can get it edited and then post it up as a YouTube video tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much on YouTube for watching. I will be still streaming on Twitch. I'm not getting off. I'm just uh, I'm just you know ending it on YouTube so I can make it a video. But I'm still live on Twitch. I'm not getting off. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And make sure you guys tune in to twitch.tv/APG and also my YouTube, which is youtube.com/@OpticAPG for the Halo watch party this weekend, which will be at the Hex quarters with Scump and Methods and also Nick as per usual. So appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.